What's up, guys? It's Gabe from VVS Investments. We don't have a whole lot of time and we have lots to cover today, so I'm going to get right into today's game plan and watch list. In fact, there's 3 things I want to touch on, very important things today. The first is the silver short trade, how we stalked it, how we capitalized on it, why it was A+. The second is going to be the market watch list, break down the broad indexes, break down the individual names like we always do. And you want to stick around because some of these names that we've been swinging, they don't look great today, but they still look great on a daily game plan, on a daily setup. So stick around for those. The third thing I want to touch on is the Forex Factory and the earnings for the upcoming week, guys. It's a huge earnings week in the market, and a lot of these names are going to be swayed simply by the earnings that they report. So let's get into it, guys. Silver short. Why have I been drilling this into every video I've been talking about? Because it's A+. On all the setups that are out there, I'm going across every market out there, and I'm trying to find the best setups that are just trading differently than they usually do. You know, and the blow-off short trade is one that I'm looking for. I want to see a name that's setting up and extended so much that it's just overdue for some pullback. Because I know that what goes up has to come down. That's the way the market works. What is an A+ setup for a blow-off short trade? Well, this is a blow-off short trade that it requires 3 conditions. Number 1, extension from the 50-day moving average. Number 2, Bollinger Band expansion, an open and a close outside of the Bollinger Band. And number 3 would be successive gap ups in price. This is fuel for exhaustion, and the best blow-off short trades tend to form after stack gaps up. Not just one, momentum becomes increasingly fragile. And guys, tell me we didn't get all 3 of those conditions in this silver trade. I'm looking at on the daily chart. I mean, check this out. Extension from the 50-day moving average. All-time high extension, almost 60% extension from the 50-day. We've got successive gaps up in price, 1, 2. We've got all-time high volume bar. And then just to throw a cherry on top, pull those Bollinger Bands up. We've got to open and a close outside of the Bollinger Band. So let's break it down. Intraday, I'm stalking a short trade. We're not getting it. We're not getting it. We're not getting it. We come all the way up here to midday, around noon, and the market just knifes. It knifes. We grab a short position. We really start to add into the short position on the crack here. And then when we break this swing low, it's safe to really full port this thing and add in. And I don't ever say full port in the market, but on A+ setups, it's okay to size into them. I should have sized in way more than I did. It's silly, you know? Silly that I didn't size in even more on this. But we got that crack, we got that continued momentum all day, and now you can see post-market we're knifing even harder. So incredible range from silver. I don't know where this thing opens up tomorrow, but like I said, we've got gaps to the downside to fill. That's an incredible sample of a chart that you want to store in your memory bank. You want to remember how these set up. You can call it the parabolic short trade. You can call it the blow-off short. Whatever name sticks with you, roll with it. But all in all, that's a great risk-reward setup right there. Let's break down QQQ and SPY. Nice moves today. Trend days. We put in our 4th green close in a row here on SPY and QQQ. And, they look pretty good for us to continue up and test these highs. 630 is the intermediate level on QQQ. It's been a tough one to break for the past couple months. But under 606 or 7 on QQQ, everything in that range is healthy going forward. SPY QQQ, nothing to note. Thoughts are unchanged. Silver, we covered it. Incredible day today. I was so locked in on silver, I didn't really have a chance to pay much attention to the other swings. And there shouldn't have been much attention paid to them. They had consolidation today. And that's okay. That's fine. That's nothing to trip out about. ALAB, we're still risking the 50 MA or the swing low here. These guys right here. I'm positioned to be comfortable if the price dips to that point. This thing seems to trip people out and then trend is really what I've noticed here with this name. And look what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about? Look at this. Big red candle, knife, trend, right? Big red candle, sell off, gap up, trend. Nasty 4 candles in a row. Close at low a day, gap up, run. Gap up, I see it again here. Another formation that looks pretty nasty, but you've got to think that the big picture is still intact here. What I'm talking about. Our key levels have not been violated. If we break down below here, then the trend starts to look a little wonky. And I can see myself exiting out of ALAB. In the meantime, I'm not tripping. Let's see how the 50 MA holds. Let's see if the 50 MA gives us some support here. ASTS, still constructive in this ascending triangle looking pattern here. Volume was a little bit whack today. Don't love this volume bar. You would have loved to see a little more volume injection on a day like today. We just didn't really get it. So that's cool. I'm not rushing on this one by any means. Anything contracting between 115 and 95 is still very healthy in ASTS. It's not immediate action for me. Like I said, I've got to see it shape up and curl before we try 120 again. NBIS, if you took a position here in today, I wouldn't blame you. I still like the way we're holding this area right here. When we start to lose that spot up, again, this one, I would be quick to move on from NBIS. In the meantime, sideways doesn't hurt. We need to see this thing get a little bounce here out the 50-day. A little bounce with some volume injection. Today's candle wasn't pretty, but could it have been a punk candle? We'll have to see, okay? Swings aren't really working this week to start the week. But today was also a 1 in 500 type of day in the market with the commodities being blow off like this. Crazy day. Hope you capitalize on that short trade. If you didn't, just shoot me a message, guys, because you need to learn this blow off short trade. It's an incredible pattern that you can make hundreds of percents on options on. Easily. It's one of the best risk reward setups in the market, but you have to be precise with the way you execute it. This criteria right here really does hone in on exactly what's needed to size into a trade like that. And I just need you guys to come in here and take a look at these samples. Take a look at this past chart data that I've compiled and thrown into the group here, because you want to see how these set up in the past. Open and a close outside of the Bollinger Band with all-time high volume. Hey, risk to reward is telling you we could be looking at a blow-off short trade here. Guys, back test. As a swing trader, your back testing is scanning. I am always on FinViz, running through my screens, running through my watch lists and charts. And I'm going through past chart history too, so I can see what happened when stocks set up in a similar way. And it pays off. Today it paid off for me. The blow-off short trade was basically a layup, and I sized into it, made a nice chunk. Nothing crazy, absolutely nothing crazy, but just a good day's work in just a few hours to take, 550 out of a silver trade. That's awesome, guys. Trading is the best game in the world. You can do it from anywhere. As long as you're patient and you know what you're looking for, you can be very, very successful at this. And the freedom that it opens up, just to be able to go grab lunch, press buttons on your phone and make a day's work is incredible, guys. And that's not something that every job provides as far as opportunities go. That's all that I got for you guys today. Hit me up if you guys want to join the Discord. If you want to go over these charts, that's what we do every single day in the Discord. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.